Morning. We're at Aston Park. Why am I talking like this, Iona?
Creepy, scary, scary.
Apparently, Aston Hall, where we're in the shadow of for today's Aston Hall parkrun, is one of the most haunted houses in the UK. Will we see a ghost as we're running round parkrun today?
No.
The ghost of parkrun's past, the ghost of parkrun's future, the ghost of parkrun's present. But first of all, let's go and start the parkrun, shall we, Iona? Off we go.
So, hello and welcome to Aston Hall Parkrun. Thank you for joining us today. The volunteers have assembled, so please do not dismay. My name is Philip, I align with Red Rose. Beside me is Stephen, to Wesham he's opposed. Remember, this is a run and not a race, designed to put a smile upon your face.
We are off and running at Aston Hall parkrun. It took a little while, we're slightly later starting than you would at a normal parkrun, but it's a very informal start. Basically, today has been brought together by the parkrun tourism community, who are filling in most of the volunteer roles and making sure that today's parkrun can actually happen. So we're off and running past Aston Hall. We are running in the shadow of a rather well-known football ground as we start our first lap. Do we mention that we're Cov City supporters here? Probably best not. But actually, my granddad almost had tryouts for Aston Villa, unfortunately injured himself and wasn't able to play football again just before the tryouts happened. But my family have gotten a bit of an affiliation to Aston Villa Football Club. So we're now off the tarmac paths and running on a bit of soil through the trees still. So basically this parkrun is an unusual course actually. It's 2 big laps and 2 small laps. Figure of 8, but you sort of do double of the one part of the figure of 8 and then the other part of the figure of 8, then a little at the back and then you finish. So quite have to keep your wits about you and basically make sure you can keep an eye on the person in front of you the whole way around. So we can see the faster runners coming through on their second lap of the big laps. Interesting enough, we just heard one of them saying, "Did you go down that bit on the way, the bit that we're on at the moment?" And the other one going, "No." So there's obviously be interesting to look at the Strava traces afterwards, shall we say, and see how many of us did the same route. The fastest runner has just come through, lapping us while we're doing our first lap of the first of the 2 laps. Does that confuse you or not? And the second runner coming through with a slight bit of extra assistance. 1 dog on a short handheld lead. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, but you've got to go up the hill.
Up a hill?
Incline.
Up an incline. This course can definitely be described as undulating. So it may be a beautiful park, and it definitely is a beautiful park here in a really, urban area of Birmingham, but it's definitely not flat. Keep going. So we had a bit of confusion there. We almost started the other loop, having only done 1 loop of the big loop. Then we couldn't quite work out where we're going. How's your head, Iona?
Discombobulating!
Is this another discombobulating course?
Yes!
Is it more or less discombobulating than Somerdale Pavilion?
Less.
Nothing can beat that, can it? But it did confuse us slightly. But we are now back en route and about to start the second of our big loops. And as we've completed our big loop, my watch has just done the bleep bleep, which means it's 1 mile time. What have we got today?
Wormy.
We're flying down the hill, back past Aston Hall, which does look very imposing. It's a 400-year-old building, one of the last built in the Jacobean architecture style. It's certainly impressive and apparently full of ghosts. As we drop back down by the football club, what else do you see here, Iona?
Playground.
How does it look?
Good.
It's an interesting structure in the middle of it. Looks a bit like a spaceship, doesn't it?
Do you not know what it is?
It's a climbing wall.
Yeah. No, I'm not looking that way.
He tried to ignore the football club.
It's still there.
Just coming up to the end of our second big loop. Right, this time we are going onto the little loop. We'll try and get it right this time.
It's on the short lap.
It's the short laps time, yay!
2 hours.
What's that mean?
So wait here.
Oh, I don't know. It's a beautiful view of the old church that we walked past on the way here, and we're about to go uphill again. We dropped down a hill, which means we've got to go back uphill again, and then we've got to go back down it again, and then we've got to go back up it again, and then we drop down it to the finish. Now you've gone quite retro with your top, Iona. How long ago was your 10th park run?
About 5 years ago.
Because the great pause was in the middle of that, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I do miss this top.
Do you?
I do.
Ah. But have we seen any ghosts?
No, but I'm a ghost.
Is that why you're wearing a white top?
Yeah.
You're the ghost of Aston Hall. Just by the side of us is Aston Expressway. Famous, and I remember studying this in my geography lessons at school because of the fact that it has variable lanes, so they can turn lanes on and off depending upon the flow of traffic in or out of the city at different times of day. What is incredible as we look back over Aston Hall from this loop is the number of chimneys you can see. So a little challenge for you if you're doing this park run. How many chimneys can you count on Aston Hall roof? Big construction works on this bridge as part of the Aston Expressway. Hope it doesn't fall down while our cars are driving on the top. We have finished the 2 laps. Now we just have to do one little bit more of the lap to head back downhill to the finish. It's a downhill finish.
So here we are. Hold on.
And you 89th today, well done.
How was that part, Iona?
Tired.
Was it quite undulating?
Yes. Don't like that.
Didn't make your legs work, did it?
Yes. They need to change course.
You think it should just be 3 laps, do you? Of the big lap? But it was beautiful. I did like the views of Aston Hall as we were running around this part as well.
It was nice, but I feel like they can make it simpler to do.
You do. But we've done it. We've ticked it off. Now it's time
Well,
to go.
it's still there.
Let's go and find some breakfast, shall we?
Yeah. And Alison.
And Alison. Yeah, we've got her back. Yeah.
They were really nice. So it was worth the calories.
We have just enjoyed breakfast, haven't we, Iona? It was a tasty breakfast. Rising Cafe, there used to be one in Coventry, but it's closed. But we were able to come to one just here, about 15, 20 minute walk, wasn't it, from Parkrun? But very tasty breakfast. And bought on recommendation to take away with us a ruffin as well. We had lots of tourists recommend that we had to get a ruffin. How do you rate the breakfast today, Iona?
5.
A 5 out of 5.
Cheesy chippy.
Yeah, you had cheesy chips with your breakfast, which
Well,
you've not managed to eat them
fries.
all, have you?
No.
So we've got those in a takeaway box
But
to
they're
enjoy a
not
bit
as
later.
good as National Trust ones.
Not quite as good
They
as National
don't
Trust.
have that like
Spicy bits.
spice to it.
Cool. Right, time to head back to Aston Hall now, isn't it? And explore and see if we spot any ghosts inside the hall.
If I had a boat, I would sail out, take every brother and sister of mine. We'd roll in the sunshine and sleep when start, hoping to find somewhere we can call home. But it's black, yeah, it's black. Oh, the water's black, 'cause it's black, it's all black, black water. If I had some time, I'd be biting it well, but my house is on fire, there's no one left to tell.
Well, we're just enjoying an explore of the urban landscape through Birmingham, heading back to Aston Hall along the canal. Just seen a canal boat go through the locks, haven't we, Iona? Is that fun? And we are just enjoying the sights and sounds of urban landscape mixed with rural, these corridors that you have with the canals through the town.
If I get there faster than you, 'cause it's mad, yeah, it's mad. Oh, the whole world's mad, 'cause it's mad, it's all mad, it's mad out there. 'Cause it's black, yeah, it's black. Oh, the water's black, 'cause it's black, it's all black, black water.
What have you got, Iona?
An activity bag.
We've arrived at Aston Hall. We've got our way in. Get a discount for National Trust members, it's 50% off. And you also get a discount if you've come here by public transport. So we didn't get 100% off though for having done both. But you've got yourself an activity pack, haven't you, to explore the place with?
So then also, so this is the main pack, I think.
Yep, so a quiz to do on the way around.
Yep.
And a sort of spot
Find
thing.
something.
Ooh, so lots to do and look at while we're going
And
around.
look, sketch your favourite museum or discovery.
Cool, right.
I think I might take a photo of it and then take
Sketch it when you get home.
Because I don't think I have time to do it here.
Okay, right, well let's go and explore then. So as we're wandering around, the question is, will we see any ghosts? It's certainly dark and slightly eerie in some of the rooms. We're currently in the great parlour. There's a hole through the balustrade. That was because at the last minute the family here decided to side with the royalists. Bad decision. And the parliamentarians attacked them, and a cannonball came through the wall over there and smashed through the balustrade here. The family decided to keep the damaged balustrade in like it is as a reminder of their involvement in the Civil War. King Charles I stayed here 5 days before the Battle of Edge Hill. They served him a meal fit for a king. Anybody fancy a bit of peacock for their main course? A painting of Oliver Cromwell just behind me. Famously, of course, painted warts and all in his paintings. Interesting enough, the painting downstairs of the person who originally built this hall definitely isn't Watson Hall. He was actually 65 by the time this hall was completed, which is where the painting was done with the hall in the background. The painting makes him look about 25, so I think there was definitely a bit of artistic license applied there for his painting. Behind me now is the bed that King Charles I would have slept in, at this point just after he declared war on the parliamentarians. Apparently, a royal visit to a family could bankrupt a family. It would cost so much to feed them, all of their courtiers, all of their hangers-on, their horses, everything needed feeding, that families actually were bankrupted by it. But you couldn't say no to a royal visit. We're just exploring and walking the long gallery. 136 feet long down this room. It was actually an indoor activity space, if you like, as well as somewhere they could hang their portraits. So imagine, this is basically an early indoor running track, probably more of a genteel walking track, shall we say, but beautiful and very impressive. The music we're listening to as we're walking along was actually composed for this space and was designed to sort of augment the acoustics and the architectural feel of the room. in the room that would have been the dressing room of Lady Sarah Holt, who lived here. And as with so many of that era, her riches were on the back of slavery, owning plantations and so on over in America. Rather than leaving it as the boudoir dressing room and celebrating Sarah Holt, they've done this as a celebration of black history and the stories and challenges that have been faced there. A lovely way to change the story. What have you found here, Iona?
Mirror.
And what's special about the mirror?
It's got quotes.
What are the quotes about?
They're about yourself, to make sure you don't criticize yourself.
And why is that on the mirror?
Because some people, when they look in the mirror in the morning, they're like, I do not look good for myself. I need to prepare myself. I need to put makeup on. But you don't need to put makeup on at all. You just need to be yourself, and then people will actually like you.
Brilliant. We are down now into the part of the house that kept the rest of the house going. It's the servants' quarters and the kitchens where all the food had been prepared. Imagine King Charles's feast being prepared down here in these kitchens. They're very echoey spaces, just brick walls. And the wages, £5 for a year, and wages like that it's saying about some of the people who'd have worked here in the 1700s. Seems crazy now, doesn't it? We have explored the hall, and now we're exploring Lady Holt's garden, which has got some interesting sculptures in over there as well, hasn't it, Iona? And some lovely trees just coming out into blossom. Beautiful. Iona's having a quick refuel with cheesy fries, aren't you, left over from breakfast? We have had a fabulous time exploring Aston Hall. What is your rating for the Aston Hall experience?
I'd say 5.
So if you come and do the parkrun here, I would highly recommend stopping around. It doesn't open till 12 o'clock. If it's around and open when you're here, come and have a visit of Aston Hall. But next, you want some playground time, don't you?
And if you're a child, you can get an activity pack.
Yeah, your activity pack was fantastic value. £3 for 2 things to sort of do, and a pencil and a pack of crayons. Is that helping to refuel?
Yes.
Right, let's go and explore the playground next. A bit of playground time in the shadow of Aston Villa Football Club.
No, don't even say their name.
So what do you reckon to the playground?
5.
You enjoyed it? What's been good on this one?
Climbing.
Some good climbing wall bits, weren't there?
Yes, I had to get on the side pole bit so then I could actually reach the first bit because my legs aren't long enough to get the actual bit on.
But good fun?
Yes.
Cool. Do you want a bit more playtime before we go and head back to the train?
Yeah.
A couple more minutes then.
Yeah.
Well, our day of parkrun adventure and exploring is almost over, isn't it, Iona?
Yeah.
Just waiting for the trains to take us home. Have you enjoyed today?
Yeah.
What's been the best bits?
The hall and the sweeties and the Coke.
I've been persuaded to buy peanut M&Ms for Iona, refuel for the journey home.
And
But
some Cokies.
a lovely day of adventure. But what's happening next week, Iona?
Nestlado Expo!
It's a week off from parkrun, but it is a great fun event we're looking forward to, isn't it?
We thought it was this week though.
We did originally get it wrong. We thought it was this week, but we fortunately found out in time, and we are off there next week, ready to enjoy some excitement, climbing, adventure, meeting friends. Lots of fun, isn't it?
Yes.
If you're around, come along. It's a great day out. You can get a parkrun in beforehand at the nearby parkruns and then come along. We have to be there early as ambassadors, don't we?
And also, haven't we done all the ones right around there?
We have done all the ones nearby as well, yes. So, we will see you on another little adventure soon. Bye! That's the button.